I've been saying since I saw Cade Cunningham at EYBL that I think that he is like the lock to be the number one pick in this draft. Like when you have a 6'8" point guard that can do the things that he can do, that can pass the way that he can pass, that is shooting 41% from three so far this season, he's special. Like I don't want to say that he's a generational talent because I don't think that he's the same level as like a LeBron or a KD or a Zion.
He's not even. He hasn't shown that yet, though. At least I'll say that he hasn't shown that yet at all. So
yeah, and I don't even think that he's like a Luka. You know what I mean? Like I think that Cade Cunningham is a stud. I think that I've been convinced that he should be the number one pick over the likes of like Jalen Green and Evan Mobley. Like since I've seen those guys. Mm-hmm. But now that I've watched like Jalen Suggs, I find myself in the spot where this is the first time for the 2021 draft class where I've been like, okay, do I need to reevaluate Cade Cunningham being the number one overall pick? Because like Jalen Suggs, the shot making, the space that he can create off the dribble, what he is defensively, like his ability to play passing lanes, the shooting, like 7 for 10 from three. I know that he's not going to make 7 for 10 every night, but the fact that he can make some of those shots that he was hitting, the explosiveness, like he can. We talked about this at the Kansas game, but he could go from like a standstill, 23 feet away from the basket, one dribble, and get to the rim while going through defenders. Like it's not normal what he can do. So am I overreacting to one hot shooting night and Cade Cunningham playing on a team where there's not enough shooting for him to be able to because what makes Cade special is his ability to manipulate defenses with the pass, right? Yeah. It's like you put him in a ball screen, you force two to go to him, and he'll make the right decision. It's very hard to do that when your decision is, okay, do I pass the ball to someone that's shooting 23% from three, or do I try to beat this big that is playing drop coverage while there's a guy behind me? So I don't think that Cade's in the best situation. So am I overreacting to that, or is like Jalen Suggs legitimately a potential number one overall pick?
Wouldn't take anything away from you if you said you wanted to pick Jalen Suggs as the number one pick. What he's shown is that, and this is what I wouldn't say this is what the NBA would be like, but when you go to the NBA, there's going to be a very talented person to your right, very talented person to your left, talent on the blocks, everywhere in the court. And Jalen Suggs has shown that if there's talent next to him, at least at this level, if there's talent next to him, he's still going to perform. Cade has shown that he could perform with talent not being next to him, whatever the case may be. So like you can't. I feel like with the number one pick scenario or any type of like player evaluations, it always comes down to what the team needs. And if you look at the players, you're like, all right, cool. Cade Cunningham's the number one pick. Like it'd have to make sense. Like he has to fit where he goes. That's the kind of player he is. I feel like Jalen Suggs as well is that kind of player. He has to fit where he goes. He can sit there and look how athletic he is and how fast he is in transition. And I see glimpses. I'm not saying he's exactly like it, but I see glimpses of like John Wall when he was in college, like glimpses of like that speed. But like it doesn't like it won't matter either way. Like it just depends on what team he goes to. Because you could have John Wall is great, and then you put him. He's been in the Wizards for years, and it just hasn't turned into anything special. Maybe it'll be special this year. You don't know. Years have passed before you can see John Wall do what he can actually do. So, like, you don't know. Like, it's hard to pick between Cade and Jalen or whoever. It could be my guy from USC I always bring up, Mobley, the big Mobley. Like he could be. They say he has a chance to be a top 5 pick, even number 1, depending on how everything goes. Like it honestly, Suggs had a great game. Shot the ball 7 for 10. But I still like Cade, man. I think Cade does a lot. He's poised. I haven't seen him faking injuries yet. Just jokes. But nah, I haven't. I feel like Cade shows that he can, if he had a ton of talent next to him, he can display more of his talent. You see what Jalen Suggs can do with this talent surrounding him. And he made a smart decision to go to Gonzaga and not Oklahoma State. So like decisions weigh in as well. So if I had to pick, I'd still go with Cade. I love Suggs' game though, man. I just love how he could go from slow to quick in a heartbeat, how he can just just casually be dribbling the basketball, one bounce, pick it up in a heartbeat, shoot the jump shot from the top of the key, in between screens, play with the screen, leave defenders in between. Like he's a very, very talented guard, man. I would say as far as athleticism, that's like has almost generational like athleticism for a guard, like his speed side to side, back and forth. Like he's great with that.
Yeah, for me, it's you always want to take the lead guard, especially in like the modern NBA where everything is so like heavily emphasized on ball screens and spacing and doing like the John Harden or the James Harden stuff or having just ball screen after ball screen after ball screen. I just think it's very important to have someone that can do that. So I'm always going to lean towards a guy like a Cade or a guy like a Jalen Suggs over someone like a Jalen Green or an Evan Mobley. But I mean, Jalen Green and Evan Mobley are both terrific prospects that I think, very real chance to be like long-time all-stars in the NBA. Yeah. So it's a good year to be drafting in the top 5. I do want to circle back because you said something that's interesting. I want you to elaborate on this because you've played in the NBA, you've played in the G League, you've played on summer league rosters, you played overseas all over the place. Can you just kind of speak to the level of, like, I don't think people realize the level of talent that are on the teams in the G League or the level of talent that are on these overseas teams. Like, just to put it into like in your case, you were an All-American on a Final Four team, and you were, I don't want, this doesn't mean to put you down, but like you were a second round pick, you played in the NBA for a little bit, and then you played overseas. Like, that should put into context just how difficult it is to make it to the league. Can you just kind of speak to that a little bit about how tough some of those like lower levels, I don't want to say lower levels of basketball, but like not the NBA are, how difficult it is to make it there?
I mean, it's a grind in general. Like, regardless if it's the G League, regardless if it's you're in the NBA and like the 15th dude, like it's always just a grind. So this is a lifestyle every day. You're in the gym before, you're in the gym for practice, doing the teams things. You're in the gym afterwards, working on your stuff or your body or your health, like, taking care of your body more or less. So it's just, at the end of the day, man, if you're not 100% locked in what you're doing, you couldn't possibly like be over there for a long time. Like, I see guys go over there and play for like 2 years and then just fizzle out. I seen guys go over there for 3 months and mentally they couldn't do it because it's not America. Like, I've seen some of the best guys that played in the G League. Like, I played in the G League for a year, and I've seen guys that average like 25 or friggin' 13, 14 assists in the G League and then go overseas and it just doesn't work. Like, it's just a different style of basketball. And the sooner you adapt to the different style of basketball, and just like any basketball or any basketball team, you learn your niche in that space or on that team or wherever the case may be, you do a better job. Like, there's guys over there that can play in the NBA. There's guys over there that play in the NBA, that play in the NBA now. Like Brad Wanamaker, who was on my G League team. We won the G League championship together. I saw him play, and we played against him in college. And I was like, oh, Brad, he's tough. And then I went to the Spurs. I was still hurt, blah, blah, come back. I play in the G League. Brad's on my team. And I'm like, yo, he got way better. Like, he's really, really good. Fast forward a year, he's in Germany. I go to Germany. He's the best guard in Europe. He won the German championship and German Cup like 2-3 times already. He ends up going over to Turkey, playing for a year, and then he ends up going over. He ends up coming back to America and playing with the Celtics. And everybody's calling me like, "Oh, I'm so shocked that Brad Wanamaker." It's like, no, he's been for like a couple of years. He was like the best guard, if not second best guard in all of Europe. So and he stuck to it. So it's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. If you don't mind missing family gatherings and things of that nature, and you love the game and so on and so forth, man, it could be a great career for a lot of people, but it's not easy at all.
Yeah, my theory has always kind of been you have the freaks, right? You have the Kevin Durant's and the Kawhi Leonards and the LeBrons that are just like that are not normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have people that are just like completely unique in every aspect. Yeah. Then you have the guys that are just like the obvious pros, which are the all-stars and the NBA starters and the guys that are just like too good to not be playing in the NBA, and that probably makes up like a third.
PJ Tucker, guys like
guys like
Tucker,
that.
Like PJ Tucker ran everything overseas, like ran through everything overseas. Players of the year, friggin' Euro Cup championship, Euro League championship. One like by the time every country I went to, PJ Tucker was like there, and he did whatever he wanted for a year there already. And then he came back to the NBA, and then was on the NBA team from then on.
Yeah, so you have those guys that are just obvious pros, right? Yeah. And then beyond that, for like the last 200 people in the NBA, so like the last 6, 7, 8 people on every roster, the last couple people in every rotation, it's all about being able to find the right fit, because the marginal difference in like talent between like the ninth guy on the bench for the Brooklyn Nets versus like the guy, like the second leading scorer for somebody in Ulm, is really not all that much. It's about someone that is willing to buy into the role that they're being asked to play, someone that is going to be like a good locker room person, someone that is a good practice player, someone that is not going to like be getting drunk every night that they're on the road out until like 5 a.m., causing problems, getting DUIs. Like the people that are the model pros that find the right fit with the right organization, and like, to be frank, get lucky, those are the guys that end up making it. And there's a lot of players that are that are playing in the G League or that are playing overseas that haven't gotten that right fit, or haven't gotten that break, or haven't gotten that chance. So I don't know. I just always like to bring that up, because people are always like, oh, he's a bust. You know, he's the 8th man on the bench in the NBA. No, if you make the NBA, if you make the NBA, you've made it. If you get a second contract in the NBA, like, you're probably one of like the 3 or 4 best players to ever come out of the state that you grew up in. Yeah. You know, or that you're probably the best player to ever come out of your town or your city. So it's just, I like to reemphasize that every time I get the chance, just to make the point that like, it ain't easy to make the NBA. Like, that's the hardest job in the world. There's 500 NBA jobs. There's 500 of them.
What is it, like something crazy like this? Like, it's like only like 3,000 or like, what is it? Like 4,000 people have ever like played in it. Like, it's like something, the number is like, overall number is like insane. It's like, it's not many people that's ever played.
It's the hardest job in America to get, except for maybe the president of the United States, but I don't know if we could say that anymore. I'm not going to get political on this podcast.
Stop.